lovely students. How is it going? How was your weekend? How was your week? How has it been? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Today we're gonna do another one of my favorite activities that I like to do with the student right from the start. So usually after the first activity, which is like name 3 things, we go for this one because again it's quite easy. It is called versus / what's your preference. Basically I give you 2 things and you will tell me which one you prefer. As simple as that. It's a kind of weird version of the would you rather questions, if you are familiar with those ones, but this is just much more simple, you know, like would you rather questions, they are more like deep and quite philosophical and more like from the La La Land where like nothing is impossible, but this is much more easy. I love doing this one because it's nothing crazy, nothing extraordinary. So like, do you prefer this or this? They're like this, you know, so they already, you know the answer. And then I obviously ask them to explain why they like it. So it's like a good start because they already, you know, they know the answer instantly because it's their preference, obviously. Then we just have a, you know, conversation about their preferences and why they like what they like. And it's a great way of getting to know your students as well, because we often get into some deep conversations about their lives and their experience, and I just love this one. It's like really good for getting to know each other. So shall we dive in? Shall we? Okay, so the first one will be very easy, and that is if you prefer cats or dogs. Obvious answer. Like if you have watched the previous video, then you know that I have got a doggy and I just love him so much. Cats are great for like independent people and people who are not ready for such a huge commitment. But if you are craving love, you know, and love and love and love, then you should get a doggy. There is this quote which is like, do you know why dogs can't speak? Do you know? And it is because love should be expressed not via words but through actions. And just because doggies, you know, they're always like really happy when they see you and they're licking your face and they want to be in your company constantly, like that's how you demonstrate love. If you've got a busy lifestyle, then probably a cat is a better option because they just don't need you. They just need you when you are busy with something. This is quite funny because all of my students who have got cats, you know, the cats don't give a fuck about them for the entire day, and the moment they open their laptop and we start having a lesson, the cat is there. It's like sitting here, you know? It's quite, yeah, it's quite ridiculous, you know, how they just want your attention only when you are busy with something else. They are really jealous little mother fluffers. Anyway, the next 2 things will be if you prefer the mornings or the evenings. So I personally prefer the evenings. Yeah, I like when you finish your work and you can just again like sit outside, watch the sunset, the pina colada, you know. But there is something about sunrises and actually the mornings. I used to wake up really early for one job that I used to have, and there is something about the cities like early in the morning when they are really quiet and quite slow and peaceful, you know, and you are just walking around and, you know, people are slow, the cars are slow, the traffic is not as hectic, and there is this like magical moment, this magical part of the day. Okay, next 2 things will be if you prefer coffee or tea. I need coffee and I drink coffee every single day. It's the first thing that I do in the morning after a glass of water, but I don't love it. I don't like the taste. I think like coffee is quite disgusting actually. I don't know, it's just bitter, you know. For those who love the bitter taste, then, you know, fair enough. But for me, I don't love the taste of coffee. Like, I accept it, you know, it is what it is, but I drink it because it gives me the energy, because there is genuinely a version of me before the coffee and after the coffee. I think my boyfriend could talk about it in a lengthy way. Yeah, seriously, don't talk to me before I drink my coffee. Yeah, I'm like a zombie before the coffee. So I drink it purely because of the caffeine and because it wakes me up. But when it comes to tea, I'm not a big fan of tea bags, because if you leave it brew for more than 5 minutes, it's got like this, again, like really bitter, disgusting taste. So I do prefer like leaf teas or loose teas. It's called loose tea, I think, or just like real ingredients. When you take like a real ginger, like when you grate real ginger or fresh mint or cranberries or something like this. So the next two things will be if you prefer reading books or watching films. So I personally prefer films. I hate reading. It makes me really sleepy. Reading is quite boring. Like, I do have a crazy imagination, but sometimes I'm too lazy to create things in my head. So I prefer when somebody gives it to me. Okay, next two things. Do you prefer pizza or sushi? Definitely pizza. I love pizza. I love pizza. It actually blows my mind how, you know, when you think of the recipe, or like how many ingredients you need for this, it's very simple. It's a very simple recipe. It's really easy to do it, as long as you've got the good oven, like the right pizza oven, because if you try to make it at home, yeah, it's not really good. But it's a very simple dish, but just so good. But we know why. We know why. It's the melted cheese, isn't it? Oh my god, am I gonna talk about the melted cheese in every single video? Yeah, that's probable. Yeah. And when it comes to sushi, like, I do like it, but it's not like, oh my god, it's yummy. Like, it's alright and it's healthy and it's fun to eat it, like when you're trying to eat it with the chopsticks. That was quite hilarious. But in terms of the taste, I think pizza is better. I think it is. Okay, next two things. So, would you rather travel to Rome in Italy or New York in the US? I actually chose these two cities because I would like to know if you are attracted more by the historical cities and architecture of the cities and historical buildings and things like this, or the modern cities like New York or Dubai or something. Because I personally love historical cities. I'm not a big fan of those modern cities. For me, they're quite boring, you know. Yeah, like a lot of skyscrapers, nice. America, like, I'm sorry, but you know, it's boring. You've got no history there. Whereas in Europe, like, you've got, everywhere you go, there is something old. Yeah. Okay, next one is if you would prefer going to the mountains or like a foresty, like wooded area, or you would rather go to the beach. Definitely the beach. I love the beach. I love the beach. I love the sea. I love the smell of the sea. I love the sunsets at the seaside. I just love chilling on the beach and listening to the waves of the ocean or of the sea. I do love forests. I do love the green color, obviously, but it's quite boring. You know, like when you go into the forest, like, you know, it's a tree, it's another tree, it's another tree. You've got beautiful views, of course, like it's also magical, but I'm more attracted by the color blue rather than green. And fun fact, my rug is actually blue. Yeah, so I've got the forest here and the water at the bottom. Anyway, next two things will be if you would rather play baseball or basketball. I'm not a big fan of either of those, to be 100% honest. Yeah, like basketball, oh my god, I hated it. I hated it in school. Fucking hell. That was terrible, especially when we played it with just girls, because for the lessons of physical education we were separate, like boys with boys and girls with girls. And you know what? Girls, they, at that time, they already loved long nails. And playing basketball with a lot of girls with long nails who are trying to, you know, like get the effing ball from you, like, oh my god, we were scratched. Well, my best friend, she actually scratched my face at some point. Like, it's dangerous. Like, we actually, like, I couldn't focus on the bloody ball because I was just trying to, you know, escape those nails. So ones will be if you would prefer living in a house or in a flat. Do you know what is funny? Most people say that, you know, in a house you've got more privacy and, you know, you can do whatever you want and you don't have neighbors. And I've got experience with both, like living in a flat and living in a house. And I have to say that I just feel more comfortable in a flat. Because people in flats, they don't care about each other as much. You know, you just, like, if you meet your neighbors, you just say hello, that's it. You close the door and it's a complete privacy, right? Whereas if you live in a house in a village, the village people... they have nothing to do. They have nothing to do because there is nothing in the village, obviously. So what they do is that they just walk around and they visit each other. The next one is a kind of connected to this one, like if you would rather live in a village or in a city. I have to say that I find the life in a village quite yeah, challenging. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Like, you definitely need a car, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you have to commute and you have to just like drive to the city for everything, you know, for the doctors, for the shopping, for like everything, because there is nothing in this shithole. Actually, some people think that, you know, the city is really busy and noisy, but in a village, do you know, like, you've got the dogs, you know, and when they start barking, and I mean like all of them barking, it's not really peaceful. You've got the bloody cockerels, you know, like 4 in the morning, going crazy as hell. So, and you've got the tractors and like other giant, you know, vehicles that are, you know, like doing something in the field. And again, so to be honest, like, the village life is actually not as peaceful as like some people think. Do you know? It's quite oh my god, why am I here? Okay, and next two things will be if you prefer calling to people or sending a message to people. So messages. Oh my god, don't call me. Don't you dare. Try to call me. I hate yeah, when people call. Yeah, I hate it. I'm a very introverted person. I think introverted people will understand this. I'm not mentally ready to talk to people. Like, sometimes I am when I know that, you know, somebody is about to come or there is a meeting planned, you know, I'm completely fine with that, and I love people and I love company. But when I'm not ready for it, then it's a problem. Like, my body cannot like physically and mentally like comprehend and like operate in that situation. It's really challenging. So when like somebody comes or somebody decides to call me, I get into this like frozen brain moment. Yeah, I genuinely I freeze and I just don't know what to do. Or when somebody is calling me, I'm just looking at the phone and I'm just contemplating, you know, the strategy, you know, like it's impossible. It's impossible for me to like pick it up. Please tell me I'm not the only one, please. So the next two things is if you prefer summer or winter. Summer. Summer, 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 summer forever. I hate winter. Yeah, I hate bloody winter, and the reason is because of driving, right? When you because when you are living in a village, right, you need a car, so you have to wake up like 15 minutes earlier, or sometimes like 30 minutes earlier, and you have to, you know, get rid of the snow from your car. You have to heat up your car. Sometimes you have this like layer of ice that you need to get rid of, and you are, you know, like cold in the morning, and you are just trying to scratch everything off, and it's awful, and the roads are frozen. It's terrible. And also when you are in a rush and you want to get somewhere, you just like, you have to drive like 30 kilometers per hour, but there are some like crazy people who want to overtake you, and you know, it's complicated. Life in winter is just like complicated. Also, you've got a lot of like layers of clothes on you, so when you go somewhere you have to take it off. When you are leaving you have to put it on, and it's a time of complications, you know, whereas in summer it's easy. You can just walk outside, you know, just like that. Yeah. And the daylight, bloody daylight. Yeah, like winters, you know, like when the sun sets at around like 4 p.m. or like 3:30, you've got nothing from the day, and your body clock is like, you know, let's go to bed at like 6 p.m. You know, so it's difficult to be productive, and you are living in the darkness, and no. Next two things will be if you prefer peanut butter or Nutella. What the bloody hell is a peanut butter? What is that? Like seriously, like my brain cannot like comprehend or just accept the consistency of peanut butter. I do love peanuts though. I do love peanuts, you know, like when you take the peanuts, you put it into your mouth, you chew it, and then you swallow it. But when you take peanut butter, the chewing process has been made for you already, and my brain just cannot like understand that. So in my head, I'm really sorry if, you know, this is gonna like change your view or change your perspective about the peanut butter, but in my head I just imagine that in the peanut butter factory there is some old lady sitting there, and she is like chewing the peanut butter and she's like spitting it into the jar, and that's what you get. Because where is the chewing process? Do you know, like I just can't. The next two things will be if you would rather play the guitar or the piano. Definitely the piano. I love the sound of the piano, and I find it really fascinating how people can do, like, how they can even recognize the keys, you know. I tried to play the piano at some point, and oh my god, it's just so therapeutic. It's just so meditative. I've never experienced anything else that would like put me into this like 100% focus mode. Do you know, when you, because the moment you like, when you're trying to play something, and the moment you start like thinking about something else, like you will mess it up. You have to be like 100% focused on the movements of your fingers. You just get completely lost in the moment. And okay, next two things will be, when you are cooking, do you prefer following recipes or improvising? Improvisation. Yeah. There is actually this meme about garlic, especially because I love garlic, where there is like, in the recipe there is just put 1 clove of garlic, but you know, for people like me it means like kilogram of garlic. Basically, I've got a big issue with following the rules of anything. Like the moment somebody says like, you have to do it like this, my brain is like just no. Yeah, so yeah, not a big fan of recipes. Yeah, if I want to make sure that, you know, the result is actually edible, then in that case I would yeah, follow a recipe. Wine or beer? Yeah, definitely wine. Definitely wine. Beer, too bitter. Don't understand the taste of that. No, no, no. When I started to drink wine, I didn't like it either. And it took me, you know, a couple of like years, I think, to develop the taste for it and like being able to distinguish different types of wines. And now I love it. Now I really do. And I expected the same process with beer. And I'm trying to drink it, you know, but still doesn't work. I still don't like it. Like, I can drink it, but it's not like nom, nom, nom. Nothing. Yeah, just yeah. Okay, next two things will be if you would prefer swimming in the sea or swimming in the swimming pool. Like, my instant reaction to this would be the sea, like obviously the sea. But then I was on holiday in Greece and we had the swimming pool at the hotel, and then we also had the sea, right? And there was a sandy beach, right? And the sand, effing sand, can get everywhere, do you know? Like, it's everywhere. You know, you can wash yourself like 500 times and then still, like, at some point you would be like, oh my god, and the sand is in your ears and in other holes of your body, and I just don't understand. So it's extremely uncomfortable. So actually it was also me who was like today I would like to feel comfortable, so let's just stay in the swimming pool and let's just not go to the sea. And also, like, the waves, when the waves are too crazy, like it's constantly splashing into your face. Like, it's a nice problem to have. Like, if you have this issue, it means you are on holiday. So I don't want to be complaining. Taking a bath or a shower. So bath, definitely, yeah. I'm a romantic person, so candles, bubbles, nicely smelling things in the bath, and just, you know, yeah, chilling in the bath. Like, showers are more practical and faster, so of course it's a good one, but I just love a good bath, yeah, where you can spend, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes and just like chill, put some nice relaxing music on. Yeah, I love baths. Yeah. Bam 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 bam. You would prefer drinking water or sweet drinks slash soda slash lemonades and soft drinks? Water, water, water. I'm addicted to water. I, like, everybody's addicted to water, right? But I just hate sweet drinks. I either drink water or something alcoholic. Like, that sounds awful, but you know, for like 90% of the day or the week, I do drink water. I hate sweet drinks, just like that. And the only time I have something sweet is when I have some like drink on a Friday evening or something, when I just want to chill, you know, in the garden. I love a good like pina colada or mojito or a glass of wine. So that's the only time I drink something sweet. Apart from that, it's just water all day long. Yeah, and I just cannot drink. And also fizzy drinks, you know, like, I don't like the bubbles. I just cannot like drink it. It makes me like burpy and stuff. So like, yeah, not a big fan. No. Yeah. One will be if you would rather go to the restaurant or cook for yourself, or having someone else cook for you. Haha. If I have to cook or go to the restaurant, then I think it is better to go to the restaurant. Yeah, because I'm not a good cook. Yeah, I mess up everything. And you know, in a restaurant you can try new tastes or new combinations, and you can be, you know, creative with your choice. So I would definitely go there. But having someone cook for me, that would be lovely. Yeah, that would be lovely. And it's not about the food at all. It's just about the fact that somebody wants to treat you you know, and they would cook for you. I would love that. Whatever it is, it could be the most disgusting thing in the world. I just appreciate the effort. Yeah. If you think it is better to be a child or an adult. It's quite funny though, most of my students, they say that it is better to be a child. Yeah. But for me, like, nah. Like, I think I did have a good childhood, yeah, but I just didn't like school. You know, a lot of people say that you have no responsibilities when you are a child and you are free, you can do whatever you want. But I'm sorry, like, my memory is completely different. It was about, like, all about commitments, you know, like, my mummy was like, oh, yeah, you have to go to school, you have to do your homeworks, you have to clean your room every Saturday in the morning, you have to do this, you have to be there, you have to, I don't know, like, it was just all about, you know, like, following the orders, you know, and I didn't like it at all. So I just definitely 100%, yeah, I prefer being an adult when you just don't have to, like, you can do whatever you want and you don't have to explain anything to anybody, you know, you just want to do it and you just do it. Freedom, I love the, yeah, just living. Just living my life without any, like, excuses and explanations. It's like, I don't know, I think it's the best thing. Yeah, just being an adult. Okay, when it comes to calendars, right, do you keep it old school and do you have the classic calendar, like, on the wall, or do you have the online version, like a Google calendar or the calendar on your phone? I'm really old school. I'm very old school. I think you saw this, like, my activities are pieces of paper. My weekly schedules and weekly planners are pieces of paper. I just trust the pen and paper, and I hate the digital version of that. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just like, yeah, it's probably never gonna change. Yeah, pen and paper, yeah, and just writing things down using yeah, maybe it's because I just really enjoy writing, you know, like the handwriting, whereas like typing, no, that's boring, but writing things and just making it nice and neat, you know. Diving or snorkeling? For me, like, neither of those. No. I know that a lot of people love, like, seeing the fish in the water and just all of the, like, sea life in front of them. It makes me incredibly uncomfortable. Also, like, the size of the sea, like, the sea is bloody scary. Last year we were in Croatia and my boyfriend had these, like, goggles and, like, this like snorkeling equipment, and he was like, oh my god, look at the fish, yeah, take it, put it onto your face, look at the fish. I looked at the fish and I wanted to die. I really didn't like it. I really didn't enjoy it. Like, no, neither. And scuba diving, like, just no. Just no. Going, like, deep down into water. No. I respect it. If you love it, do it. Like, the photos, I can look at the photos, you know, pictures on Google. I can look at that. That's enough for me. No, I don't have to try everything. Next one will be if you prefer comedy films or action films. I hate action films. It's like a waste of time for me. I just cannot appreciate good, like, no. Just no, I don't get that. Like, sometimes it could be funny. The moment there is, like, an action scene, I just, like, you know, like, start to get bored. I prefer more, like, when people are talking, when they are making fun of each other and stuff, but, you know, like, just fighting or, like, car chasing and all of these things, just no. The only time I did enjoy it was with, like, Deadpool. So again, Ryan Reynolds, if you remember from the previous video. Yeah, Deadpool or, like, the Avengers. Actually, yeah, the Avengers, a great combination of comedy and action film. Funny action scenes. That was, yeah, but not like stupid funny, like clever funny. The next one will be the British English or the American English. So I have to say that I sort of like grew up on American English. Yeah, like when I like obviously I started to watch American TV series. It was the Gilmore Girls, right? Then I watched the Dawson's Creek. Not as much though. Yeah, it was mainly the Gilmore Girls, because I thought that if I ever want to understand English, then I have to understand them. Because they speak incredibly fast. So I was in love with the American English and I hated British English, right? But then I wanted to move to an English speaking country, and just because America is quite far away from me and I wanted to be closer to my family, I decided to go to the UK and to England. And in order to understand them, I had to switch the Englishes, and I got into the British English accent, and I started to watch the Tudors. Yeah, it was the historical TV series Tudors, because I was in love with the actor. Yeah, I fell in love because I feel like the British accent is a little bit more relaxed, and actually for my mouth it's just much easier, because for the American accent you have to like open your mouth. I cannot do the American accent anymore. You know, like the British English is just a little bit more, yeah, like chilled for the mouth. And just because my language is really flat, like there is not much of the like intonation, it's like like for me it is much easier to actually, after years and years of listening to the British people, when I heard an American person, I was like, what the fuck? It was actually like painful to listen to them. Like nowadays I try to mix it up, and I do watch some American content as well, and I can kind of accept it, but still like the British accent, I don't know, maybe it's because I just love the culture. I don't know, it's like honey on my ears, whereas the American is like, you know, it's just a little bit too much. It's just a little bit too much. Strawberries or raspberries? The taste of raspberries with the consistency of strawberries. Because raspberries, you know, they are like way too like watery, and those bloody seeds, you know, the seeds, they get stuck in your teeth, and it's just really uncomfortable. Like one strawberry and one seed from the strawberry in your tooth, and you are like done for the day, and the only thing you will be doing for the rest of the day is like, I am trying to get it out. Something for the oldies. CDs or MP3. Does anybody know what it is? Does anybody know? Yeah. Like, I grew up with just the radio, then we had cassettes, then we had CDs, and then there was this big boom with like MP3. And I have to say that there is something about CDs, you know, and those times when when the music was not available and you had to wait for your artist to release a CD, and you were like listening to it, not like having it as a white noise in the background. No, you were listening. I remember myself sitting on a bed and just listening. That was the activity, just sitting there and like listening to the music. Yeah. Those times were different, you know. Nowadays you've got Spotify and you can listen to one song like over and over again anytime you want, but those times of CDs where, you know, like, I don't know, there was something magical, and also it made you listen to more music because you had the whole CD, so you had to like listen to, or you wanted to listen to the whole thing, whereas nowadays you can just, you know, you like one song from the artist, and you can create a playlist of different artists, but do you really listen to the entire album nowadays? I don't, because nothing is pushing me into it. So I think I'm missing out on so many songs from my favorite artists just because I just choose the songs that I like and I don't listen to the entire album, you know. At the weekend, would you rather have some chilled night, you know, just you and, I don't know, watching a film, just, you know, like chill, or like socializing and parties and like active weekend? It depends. Sometimes I don't want to see people, so I would just prefer just, you know, being with my doggy, yeah, and just, you know, doing like nothing, like having silence, yeah, or maybe some like lovely music in the background. And sometimes I'm craving people and like socializing, and I really want to see people and I want to get out of this shithole and get into the city and stuff. So it really depends, it really varies. But usually I prefer a chilled night because I speak to people all day, every day, so I really appreciate those moments when I can be quiet and people around me are quiet, and I can, depends on your job, right? Like if you don't talk to people as much at work, then in your free time, you know, you want to see the people, and when you are talking to people all day long, then you really appreciate those moments of silence and peace and serenity and tranquility. And the last one, I guess, is going to be if you prefer money or happiness. Like, there is this saying that people say which is that money cannot buy happiness. To be honest, like, you know, being an adult, I think it's not true. Like, of course, not everybody who's got a lot of money is happy, like, no, but I mean, like, unfortunately in this society, like, for everything that you like, you unfortunately need money. You know, you love sports, you need clothes for sport. You love walking, you need shoes. You know, you love animals, or you want to have a pet, you know, like you need food for the pet. Or you love traveling, you need money for traveling. You love food, you need money for food. You know, basically, because if you don't have money, you will starve to death. You will not have water because you have to pay for water nowadays. Like, what the fuck? And also you will be homeless. Do you know? So, like, unfortunately we need money, but I think it's more like a tool, you know. It really depends what you do with the budget that you've got and how you invest it, you know. And if you spend it on the things that really make you happy, or if you are just buying some useless shit that, you know, doesn't give you any like satisfactory feeling. So it really, yeah, really depends. Yeah, so that is that. So I hope you practiced your English well. Actually, I had this idea that, you know, if you would like to and you have time, you can write your answers into the comments. I would love to read them. I would love to read it, so feel free to do so. And I'm wishing you a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next video.